scoring 140 points on teams.
Yeah, running them down
like
the
it's
court.
actually that.
No, you know what it is? It's TJ McConnell driving baseline and hitting a pull up, and you're like, bro, this shouldn't happen. And it happens like 5 times a game.
Little do they know.
Hello and welcome. I'm your host, William Liu. This is the Hello and Welcome podcast presented by Betway. I'm here with my co-host, Alex Wong, and we're here joined by a very special guest, Canadian point guard, Indiana Pacers point guard, Andrew Nembhard. What's going on, Andrew?
What's up, y'all? I'm excited to be here, man. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, we just saw you go through a whole workout. You know, that's why we're here at the gym. You look pretty sharp, but you said this is the first time that you actually got back in the gym since your season ended. You took a little vacation.
Yeah, a little out of shape, but skills feel good, honestly. I feel like whenever you take a little break, you come back with that nice little rejuvenation. Everything feels good, at least the first day. So it was nice to get back in there.
Yeah, just to be clear, Andrew just worked out. He's got a little sweat. We've also got some sweat stains as well, but that's just because of the Toronto heat wave.
Bro, it's hot as hell in the gym. I don't know what to say.
It's crazy hot today, man.
No, it's fine. It's fine. So, obviously, you're back in town, not only because you live here in the summertime especially, but the Canadian men's national team training camp's set to start in about a week or so. What's your feeling of excitement right now, going into camp and everything like that? Do you still get a little bit nervous when you go into a camp like this, seeing all the names and understanding how big of a task you guys got this summer with the Olympics?
Yeah. I honestly haven't put so much thought onto it yet. I just kind of feel like the season just ended. Just got into kind of have my little break, so I'm just starting to focus on it right now. But I'm super excited to just get back to hooping, and like a new environment will be exciting. I think playing with some new guys I've grown up with will be super exciting. It's a lot of talent, so it's gonna be a competitive training camp. So it's all stuff I like. I think everybody wants to play in the Olympics growing up, so this is something that is a dream come true and something that I'm trying to cherish in the moment.
Yeah, speaking of those relationships, obviously you've played with RJ. I'm sure you're close friends with a lot of guys. Like, who are the closest guys on the Team Canada squad that you're closest to?
I feel like I know them all, really. RJ's probably the one I'm closest with, just playing high school with him. I feel like I damn near lived at his house for a little bit of time. So,
what was RJ as a roommate? Yeah,
RJ as a roommate, he's chill. He just kind of off the court. He just chill. He watches watches some weird shows, honestly. But
such as,
I think it's like Pretty Little Liars or something. I don't know. Some girly TV show.
Oh, okay.
Forget what it was, but he chills. We have a good relationship. So it's gonna be fun getting back on the court with him. We have so much chemistry from the times we played. In terms of the other guys, I've passed through everybody. I've kind of said what's up to everybody. I played with the senior team previously. Dylan was on the team. Some older guys like Kelly, Dwight. So it'll be fun getting back with those guys.
Yeah, well, that's one thing that's for this team. I mean, everyone sees the names on paper for the Canada team, and it's very impressive. You guys got a great resume, lots of NBA players, but it's the closeness. You guys got a real camaraderie with your group. Where did that closeness come from?
I think just everybody growing up in the same place, competing at a time where we're all kind of going against each other and seeing each other grow and understanding our backgrounds and how far we've come. I think it's like a cool thing to kind of look at, and everybody kind of can bond through that. And it's always competitive between us. Now we get to kind of bring that together and go against some other people. So I think that's exciting.
You've been part of the program. I think U16 was the first time you played.
Yep.
Right.
Played junior academy too a little bit before.
Okay, so even younger than that, right?
Yeah.
You've been with the program for so long. I think the last time we saw you with the senior team was when you played in China in the World Cup. Is that correct? 2019. How was that experience like? Because I remember you were like an 18-year-old. That team had a lot of point guards, and I think Nick Nurse, who was the coach at the time, was even playing you sometimes in like 3 point guard lineups. They had you playing like small forward. Again, you're 18 years old playing for the senior national team. What was that experience like for you?
That was a great experience for me. I think that it was a learning experience. I was super young. I think I was maybe just my first couple years of college. So it was a learning experience, and everybody kind of took me under their wing and was super helpful. It was also a good experience to get coached by an NBA coach and see what that feels like. I think that taught me a lot also. But I thought I did a great job there, and I was a lot of things I could have kind of took from that to make me a better player when I went to the offseason.
Oh, I hear you. Okay. We're also obviously here in Toronto. You grew up in Toronto. We're looking at your Wikipedia page. It says you're born and raised in Toronto. But then I was also talking to your dad, and he's like, yeah, I moved to Aurora. A day later, you were born. As a longtime Torontonian, I just got to ask the question, is Aurora Toronto?
Is Aurora Toronto? I guess so. Greater Toronto area. I'll give it to. Not Toronto, technically though. That's why I say Aurora. I don't want to claim Toronto.
Okay. All right. No. That's good. That's good. No, honestly, it's just that Toronto superiority thing, man. It's fine. GTA is all Toronto. It's all good. Tell me about growing up in this area in Aurora. Like, what was the feeling like at that time, and just take me through just your memories as a kid growing up in Canada.
Yeah, I think. As a kid in Canada, me and my little bro were always just kind of outside playing around. Any type of sport, any people we could find out there, kind of going against, just having fun out there as little kids. But even when I was super young, I'd always drive up to Vaughan area and play soccer out here, and I played basketball here in the city. So it would just be like a balance of chilling in Aurora during school and then going over there at night to kind of work out or play whatever sport I was playing. A little more competition out here, obviously. That's all I was doing. I was playing a lot of sports, hanging with family.
So when did basketball come in the picture for you? Like, who got you started in basketball?
Yeah, my pops got me started in basketball. He was always kind of coaching me growing up, and he coached before I was even getting into the game. And I think I started when I was 3 or 4. We used to have these little squares. They used to tape the square on the wall, and that would be 1 point. And I used to only be able to get the 1 point. I would play with 3 or 4 years up, and then I played all these house leagues in Aurora and stuff like that. But my pops is the one who kind of brought me into the game, taught me everything, grew the love for it.
So I think we've seen some really famous NBA dads, you know what I mean? But I wanted to know, for your dad, was he really hard on you guys in terms of the training? I'm sure he coached you a lot as well. What type of coach is your dad? And also for you, because I know for every kid, you grow up, you're probably going to do things that your parents want you to do anyway. But when did you start loving basketball and was this is what I want to do for my life, for my career?
Yeah, I think my pops was always tough on me. He's always pushing me. He's always wanted me to kind of do more. But he also had a good balance of when we got off the court, he didn't really bring up hoops much. He didn't nag about it. So I think that allowed me to kind of grow the true love for it myself. And I always played 2 different sports, so I wasn't just in the gym all the time. I'll take a couple months off playing soccer, going back to it, still have the love for it. So I think I really took it serious is when I stopped playing soccer in 8th, 9th grade. And that's when I kind of got a growth spurt. I got in the gym way more. My pops always had a gym somewhere in Aurora every night of the week. So I took a big leap that year, and I started just really loving it, taking it serious.
Yeah, because I read in the New York Times too, your dad was talking about how you and Ryan growing up would get into a lot of fights and leave dents on the wall at the home. What can you tell us about some of that sibling rivalry that took place early on?
Yeah, we're just super competitive with anything. I feel fights were just super natural between 2 boys in the house. We would get bored, resort to fighting. But those competitive kind of battles on the driveway were what I remember the most. We used to just play one-on-one out there until we couldn't stop really. Never could beat me because it's just not like that. But good for him to get better,
No, I like that. No, because the reason I asked you about your dad, because he was telling me, he's you always play 2 or 3 years up, right? So, you actually ended up playing a lot with some of the older guys, a couple years ahead of you, like an RJ, growing up and stuff like that. I mean, first off, why? Why did he put you up in a higher level, and how did that make you feel in terms of just you're obviously probably the smallest guy in a lot of these in these teams,
I mean, when I started, I was one of the better guys at that age group, so it was just, and the height wasn't too crazy, the difference. I was still similar to those guys, so it made sense at that time. And I think as I got older, and there's a kind of a period where I didn't develop as much as those guys, and I kind of started playing my own age a little bit more. But I think that pushed me to just be a better player, playing against better competition, playing more physical guys, more athletic guys, grew my game for sure.
So you're coming up in Toronto, you're coming up in the GTA, all right, let's just say GTA. And then the decision comes, Montverde comes calling, and Montverde always has some really good classes, but you guys, you and RJ on the team together, really, really special run. What's that like as a teenager at that time, being like, yo, we're getting called up to like, it's like the X-Men Academy for hoopers, you know? Like if you get called here, you're gonna be really good. What was that experience like playing at Montverde?
Definitely. I feel like as a kid, you're always watching mixtapes and everything like that. Like going to Montverde was like a crazy thing at the time, and it was exciting. It was also nice when I went there. We had 4 Canadians on the team that I played the national team with, so it's a super comfortable transition for me. And it was just the next step I felt like I needed to make in order to kind of go where I wanted to go. Playing against high major competition, 10 guys on the team playing D1, so it's like that really pushes your game to another level, and also just the environment, the schedule, everything kind of prepares you for college and pros for sure.
Yeah, what about too, like obviously you went through your own process, you know, Gonzaga and then coming to the draft, and I know the draft is coming up next week. And we wanted to know a little bit too about like what was the process like for you, if you could take us through once you get into the draft process, you know, the combine, interviewing with teams, like what were the things that you remember that stood out for you?
Yeah, I ended up testing the waters 3 times in college. So I felt like going into my senior year, I was just super confident and felt comfortable going into those interviews, going into those workouts. I definitely knew exactly what was going to happen, knew the questions, knew the type of drills. So it was comfortable, especially going into my senior year there. I felt like I was one of the best players coming out, and I just had to go prove it. So stuff I remember the most, I think just seeing all the facilities, how cool it was to just see all the coaches, and like the surreal of the moment it was. I definitely remember the combine. That was a big moment for me. I think it pushed my stock up, gave me a real chance. But other than that, nothing too special with the process.
I know as somebody who's a longtime Raptor fan, I think Raptors had 33rd pick that year. And we were watching the draft, and I'm like, you know, I don't like that Andrew's sliding, but at the same time, you know, it's coming up on the clock there. I know you had done the interview with, you had done the workout with the Raptors. They got you in the press room. You did a whole interview at that time. And I know you were familiar with Nick, obviously, having, you know, worked together in the national team. Obviously, you're with the Pacers, but was a part of you, like, looking at that as a possibility and thinking about, like, what would that look like if I got to play for my hometown team?
I didn't really think about it too much, honestly, because I thought my range was a little bit higher, honestly. I didn't want to get to that point. I think, like, the end of my range was, like, around 31 to 35. I wanted to get up to, like, 24, 25, I think. So I was hoping for that first round. But as it got closer, and I've thought about playing in Toronto for sure. I think it come with a lot of challenges, as well as a blessing to play for a team that you kind of grew up watching. Yeah, it would be fun, but I love the Pacers. And I want the Pacers for a long time.
No tampering.
I get that. I was only asking because, you know, like, again, the situation at that time, it was kind of looking like that possibility. But clearly, obviously, your career has really hit a good run with the Pacers, right? I think what's impressive is for a guy coming in the second round, I mean, like, Rick Carlisle trusted you immediately. I remember, you know, one of the first breakout moments that everyone got to know you was, you know, hitting that game winner against the Lakers. But I think if you watch that game, like, they had you guarding a lot of the toughest assignments too, which I think most coaches wouldn't trust their rookies. So how did you get, like, minutes right away as a rookie, and how did you get the trust of your coaches and everything like that?
Yeah, I think just that, honestly. I tried to impact the game in other ways that people necessarily didn't really know me for. I think during the process, everybody was trying to say my defense was going to be a weakness. And I felt like I was looking through that like, that's going to be one of my strengths, I think. I'm going to be able to switch and be versatile on that side of the floor. So I want to really show that and bring that energy, that competitiveness to the game. And I knew that I felt like that would give me the opportunity to grow my game eventually off that. So.
Who were like the guys for you when you first got to Indiana? Who were like vets for you, took you under your wing, and then guys that you could learn from?
Mm-hmm. James Johnson was definitely a vet that put a lot of time into me, and always wanted to see me do well, you know. Also, like, I think just Tyrese and TJ having such a good backcourt like that was something that I just watched every day and took from just watching, like, the stuff they're doing and trying to emulate it, but also just hearing how they go about their day and how they approach the game. It was good to kind of learn from two really good PGs like that. You know.
Right. I mean, I gotta imagine the competition's crazy, right? Because, like, that's part of the reason why the Pacers and you guys have, obviously, you guys just fresh off coming off the conference finals, but, like, that's what makes you guys so tough, is having those 3 point guards. And you guys are all very, very different, I would say. Right? TJ is like a very unique point guard unto himself. I don't see no other point guard playing like TJ. That little baseline drive and then turn around pull-up jumper. Like against the Raptors, I felt like no one really knew it was coming. But even guys who couldn't really anticipate it, they couldn't really guard that. But yeah, you got into that rotation and you got, obviously lots and lots of opportunities to play. I remember one of your other breakout games from a rookie season was when you came back to Toronto, maybe for the second time, I think. But I think you had like 26 points. You hit like a big 3 to clinch it in the last minute. What was that experience like coming home for the first time and having a great performance in front of, I'm sure, a lot of family and friends?
Yeah, that was one of my most memorable moments of the first year for sure. Tyrese was out, so I got a big kind of chunk of playmaking that game, and I felt good. I mean, it was also the point of the season where we were kind of not really in contention, so there's nothing to lose, so you're kind of super free in those moments, but it was fun coming back home, playing that game, getting that big shot, winning the game, so definitely one of the best moments of my first year.
And then what about this year? Obviously, the big news for us here in Toronto, Pascal, getting traded to the Pacers. What was it like just having him integrated into the team and just getting to know him a little bit just as a person off the court?
Yeah, P's been really good. P's been just fun to be around. He's someone who loves the game a lot and brings joy to the game. So he's a great teammate to have on your team, especially when he's the star guy. I think he also brought a lot of leadership to us that we needed for a young team that had no experience playing in the finals. Him getting to the chip, I think he really did a good job of giving us nuggets when we really needed them.
Yeah. No, I mean, first off, Pascal says he's a Chelsea fan too, so I don't know if he said that to you or let you know about that. He does that little keep up routine. I'm sure you've seen it a million times. I don't know if you want to hop in on that too. I feel it's weird because it's like for us as Raptor fans, we've seen Pascal for so long. We've seen him as a rookie grow up, get to this level that he's at now. And obviously he's moved on to go to Indiana. But I think for us, we're watching it thinking like, well, Pascal likes to play a lot in that like ISO game, a little like mid post kind of face up turnaround. He's got a great jumper, obviously. How did you guys fit that into like the run and gun identity you guys were going already with all the point guards in Indiana?
Yeah, I think we just kind of kept it the same. We kept our pace, and he just came and was super unselfish and just fit in and tried to figure it out. And I think as he figured it out and fit in with us, we also adjusted to him and kind of gave him those little spots where we can ISO and get the stuff that he's been known for. I think it's been a good collaboration of using his strengths and also our strengths and kind of making it better. I think it's going to only grow this year coming forward.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you guys going to have the training camp. The reports are already out there that he obviously intends to stay in Indiana, and you guys got some unfinished business, obviously, right? Speaking of Indiana, though, I think that you guys were one of the big breakout teams this year where a lot of people were watching you guys in-season tournament. I know it feels like a million years ago now, but you guys had a lot of great moments there. I also realized watching this run that, like, you guys get into some beef sometimes, Like, I think the Milwaukee game, after all that went down, Giannis has a career high, whatever, but like the game ball situation, that was one thing. I know in the playoffs, Bobby Portis got into it with a little bit. What is it about the Pacers that it's like starting to get under people's skin?
Oh no, I think it's something about the youth of our squad and the swagger we have, and older guys not really liking that swagger. And I mean, there's always shit talking going on throughout the game. I feel like there's not real fights going on, but I mean, nobody wants to see a bunch of young guys take over the games and take over the playoffs in a sense,
No, you know what it is? It's scoring 140 points on teams.
Yeah, running them down.
Like
the
it's
court.
actually that.
No, you know what it is? It's TJ McConnell driving baseline and hitting a pull up, and you're like, bro, this shouldn't happen. And it happens like 5 times a game.
Little do they know.
That's jokes. Yeah, I mean, you guys get into playoffs. Now, I think that's a good point because like you guys are the young team coming up, and I feel like a lot of people picked against you guys at each turn, right? It was like, all right, Milwaukee was like, well, as a veteran team, who knows if they're healthy or not, but like they're going to know how to get it done. They won a championship, and then you guys took care of Milwaukee, right? And then it's New York, and it's like everyone's like, yo, the Knicks playing so well, they're so gritty. Pacers not going to be able to match up with them. And then you saw in Game 7, like the way you guys were running, like you guys ran them out the gym in Game 7, right? You guys shot like an incredible percentage. And then even going into the conference finals, and this might be a little bit of a sore spot, but you guys were up in 3 of the 4th quarters against Boston, and we saw like just how dominant Boston was pretty much against every other team. When you think about back on this whole thing, it's like, what is it about the Pacers that like other teams should be trying to learn in terms of like what's making you guys so successful?
I think besides from our play style, I think what makes us so successful is our depth, the way we play so many young guys that are ready to come off the bench with energy. And I think we have a good culture going. I think we have guys that enjoy being around each other, that really play to win, play for each other. So it's not my turn, your turn type of thing. So I think it benefits us to win games. And the fact that we play such a ball movement offense, everybody's kind of getting in rhythm and feeling good. So it's never like one guy's just holding it and other guys are getting out of rhythm. And then when he's time for him to make a shot, he can't really make that shot, you know? So I feel like we're all in rhythm going into the playoffs, and we're just getting more and more confidence as a young squad.
From like a culture standpoint too, because you guys talk about the way you play, it's a very like unselfish brand of basketball. Like, what are the things that like the coaching staff, from like Rick Carlisle, even amongst the players, like how do you guys actually build that to play that kind of unselfish type of style?
Yeah, I think it starts with the leadership. I think all the way from the front office, ownership, and then Coach Carlisle does a great job of leading the group, and then as well as like guys like P and Tyrese. I think they all do a great job of holding guys accountable, being real with each other, and as well as having fun, keeping it loose, enjoying just the everyday grind of an NBA season.
Okay, I got some questions to ask about your Pacers teammates. What's up with Tyrese's fits?
Tyrese's
His outfits.
His outfits are very controversial.
What's the reaction in the locker room when Tyrese walks in and he's got like, the Inspector Gadget like outfit on? Like,
it's a lot of hate getting thrown his way for sure. It's a lot.
Bro, does he have a stylist? Like, is that him?
No, I think he has a stylist. I think he does.
He's got a stylist.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. The other problematic question I have, and again, this is all from love because like we are big fans of Pascal here in Toronto. But have you seen Pascal with a barber recently?
Nah. Never seen him with a barber.
Treating this like a bubble right now?
No. Pascal he just straps off the headband and then he goes.
Pascal straight to the hoops, man.
Yeah, he only hoops.
There's no other worries for him with the hoops.
He lives in the gym. He must live in the gym.
You don't even know any barbers, I don't think. For real.
It's good to get to know this team, honestly, because it's like, Raps this season obviously was like a little bit like up and mostly down. I was gonna say up and down.
Yeah, what was the up?
It was down and down this year,
okay.
But I know that obviously we talked a lot and watched a lot of Pacers on the show this year. One thing too I wanted to talk about was just like, what do you guys see as the future of this team? Like, what do you guys see as the next step? Because it's like once you get to the conference finals, it's like expectations are gonna go ahead and do it. But we also see like Boston's at such a high level and they're gonna keep their team together. So like, how do you get over that next hump?
Yeah, I think we got to grow within. I think we got a lot of young guys that got a lot of room to grow, and even older guys that are going to keep getting better. And I think our continuity is going to make us better as well. We got to get better though, and we got to learn from the mistakes we made this year, try to capitalize on that next year, and have that confidence that we could really be a top 3 team in the East and get right back to that spot.
How do you guys get better on defense? Because you guys got better on defense as the season went on. In the playoffs, you guys got something really good with like picking up full court. But I think we know that if you guys are gonna get to the next level, it's got to be, if your defense gets to the level as your offense, then yeah, you guys are gonna be really good. But how do you guys get to that level defensively?
It's tough. I think guarding in this league is one of the hardest things. There's so many good individual players. I think we need to really be connected on that side of the floor, and we need to compete super hard. I don't know if we have. No matter what, I don't care if you have the best defenders in the world, you're going to have to compete really hard to get stops against some of these guys. So I think we just need to have that same desire we got on the offensive end on that defensive side.
Speaking of tough defenders or, guys to defend, who are like the 3 guys that you've had the most difficulty guarding, or like you're like, damn, like they really got me this game or whatever? Like 3 guys that are like toughest for you to guard right now.
Man, 3 toughest guys to guard.
Because you guard the toughest guys a lot, right?
Yeah. I probably guard all of them. I'd say Ant Edwards is up there. Shea is always a tough check. And Jalen Brunson was a tough check, too. Those guys, sometimes I feel like I'm getting those stops, and then they just keep making tough shots.
Right.
Kind of still there and there, but those 3 guys are tough, for sure.
So those are 3 very different players, right? Like Anthony Edwards is like next level athlete, right? Mm-hmm. Like super strong, super quick, can jump out the gym. Shea He's like that weird slinky, like, you know, he's quick and he can pull up anytime. I'm sure you played against Shea a million times too, so you probably know his game to some degree. But Brunson, I feel like Brunson's so unique because it's like he's for a guard who is like maybe 6'2", like he's a shorter guard, really. And he's playing below the rim, but it's all footwork and post ups and stuff like that. Like, is that the hard part about guarding him?
Yeah, I think his cadence is hard to kind of predict. He's physical. He's really good at drawing fouls, so you kind of have to play a little tentative at times. So he's got a lot to his game, and it's hard to get a rhythm on him for sure.
Yo, they working out hard back there.
They're working out to guard Nembhard.
Goodness, man.
You know, it's funny you mentioned like Brunson. We talking about the playoff run too. You played in like two of the more, I would say, like hostile environments, like at the Garden, especially in the playoffs. And I think Boston is pretty like infamous as like a tough place to play. How do those two places compare, just in terms of going there as like a visitor, especially in the playoffs in that environment?
I mean, MSG was ridiculous. Something I never played in front of. The whole fan base was rowdy, talking shit the whole time on the sidelines. It just felt like a big moment every time you step in the court out there.
Different type of talking shit that comes from like New York fans and Boston.
Wait, is that like celebrities talking shit to you? Like, because you know what I mean? Like, because when they show the Knicks fans, it's like they got all the former Knicks on one
Action Bronson on one side.
Yeah, you got like
Ben Stiller's over there.
Yeah, I don't know if Ben Stiller's talking shit like that.
Like, I feel like the celebrities will talk like fun shit. They'll kind of like say something, laugh about it. But like the fans that are a couple rows back after that are the ones that are like, you know, saying shit about your mom and stuff like that. Yeah, it's all fun though. I mean, I like it. I'm not
that doesn't get under your skin if someone talks like that?
No, I like it.
Okay.
I like it. It's fun.
No.
What about compared to Boston? Like, how's Boston like compared to the New York?
I mean, I think going right from MSG to Boston, I think MSG was a little step ahead for sure.
Yeah.
Boston's a little more kind of laid back. They expect to win.
Yeah.
Fans are a little bougie, I think, out there, but
no, they definitely do expect to win.
Two great atmospheres nonetheless.
Yeah, no kidding, man. Well, I mean, listen, Indiana right now, you guys are in a good mood. You guys are in a good mode. I don't know when the Raptors are going to get back to the level where you guys are competitive again. Because I remember, like, it was the funniest thing when the Raptors used to match up against you guys because the Raptors for a while only had forwards, right? Like, that was the weird thing about the team was, like, they had Fred VanVleet and then, like, 4 forwards. And sometimes Fred would sit and then it'd be 5 forwards, you know? And you guys would have, like, 3-4 guards on the court at the same time. That's the part that was, like, so interesting as a matchup. But I don't know. The team's rebuilding. We'll see how it is. But we appreciate you so much for joining us on the show. We want to say best of luck, obviously, with the national team this summer. What's your expectations? Like, honestly, let's be honest. Like, are you guys looking at gold right now?
Yeah, we're looking at gold. I don't see why not.
Yeah.
I don't see why not. We got to come together and play winning hoops, but I think we got gold. Gold is a chance for sure.
So everyone is committed. Everyone's in. Like, it's like the Olympics. Everyone's like, let's go. We're going to go no matter what.
Yeah, I haven't met up with the guys yet, but I'm assuming
they're
ready.
For everyone.
Yes. That's all we want to hear about, you know what I mean? But
we got a little gift for you, too, before you
that's
go.
right, because we heard a couple days ago you were in the gym or whatever, and your dad came through and dropped some patties off for you. We know that you're a Jamaican. You know, or you got the Jamaican heritage, all that kind of stuff. So we have some friends over at Patois. I don't know if you've been downtown Patois.
Never been.
Yeah,
Patois is
Chinese
really
Jamaican
sick.
restaurant, one of the best in the city.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And they've got a little convenience store set up called June Plum right next to it, where they sell like patties. And we brought you.
Yeah.
Thank you very
box.
much, bro.
And
It's fire.
they also wanted to give you a little gift pack as well in here.
Thank
so
you,
there's
man.
a bunch
I
of stuff.
appreciate
in
you
here.
guys.
Yeah, of course, man.
Yeah, of course.
Always going to the Jamaican spots when I'm home.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
definitely check them out. Yeah, so
Yeah. No,
Thank
seriously,
you,
best
tell
patties
all
in
your
the
Team
cities.
Canada guys about it. You know? Tell Jordy Fernandez about it.
I'm going to let them know.
Oh, I thought you had a question about growing up in Toronto.
Oh yeah, so we had a bunch of questions about just like growing up in Toronto, where you like to hang out and things like that. And this was a question that he wrote, but I wanted to ask, like,
go ahead.
have you ever brought a shorty to CNE? Yeah.
Brought a shorty to CNE?
Yeah.
Yeah, I have. I
Yeah?
definitely have.
Bro, I
yeah.
told
My
you,
first
this is like-
girlfriend, I
Like
brought her
deep
to
fried
CNE.
Mars bar.
Definitely got like some
Ferris
beaver
wheel
tails.
type, little beaver tail.
Yeah, you know,
Yeah.
went on a couple rides.
Trying to
They
win
almost
a-
broke down.
Trying to win a
Yeah.
Pikachu with a 3-point shot.
I know
Facts.
NBA
the,
players-
the rim's too
3-point.
small.
Yo.
NBA players making good money, but like
messed
CNE a
up.
little bit overpriced in my opinion.
CNE's
If you're
a
asking.
must go though. You got to go there.
What do you mean, man?
I'm a little anti-CNE.
Bro, he grew up here. He went to Wonderland. You know what I mean? Organized with
He
all the
grew-
boys going to Wonderland.
He grew up in Aurora. Remember remember?
Yo, relax. Or people, you just drive across Major Mackenzie and you get to Wonderland.
Yeah.
You're good. He's actually up here already.
Nice little 20-minute drive.
Actually, one last question for you as well.
Go ahead.
So Stephen A. Smith, you know Stephen A.
Yo.
Was recently, he was asked a question that if he played LeBron one-on-one,
Oh my God.
and Stephen A. had a 99-0 lead up to 100,
And it's loser's ball.
and it's loser's ball,
yeah.
if Stephen A. could win.
I think so.
So I wanted to ask you, if you were to play, I know you've never watched him hoop,
What are you yo?
in the
man.
same scenario, 99-0,
99 to
in this
nothing?
gym, he gets ball first.
I got to see him take
You
one
gotta
jump
score
shot.
100.
And I can
Yeah.
answer that question.
This is a high school 3-ball, to be very clear, okay? But this is my first time ever shooting in front of an NBA player. And we're going to get Andrew Nembhard to rate my jumper, okay? So, this is the lights are so bright, man. Fuck! What are you doing?
I'll give it a 6, honestly. I didn't think it was that bad. The fall through is a little fucked it up at the end.
You know what? I'll take a 6. I'll take a 6, man. 6 for the 6. Let's go. You guys see me take one jump shot? Oh, if you leave me open with the first jumper,
Okay, let's get
99 to 100 is tough. You can just throw it randomly.
So
get it
you
in there.
wouldn't bet? Well, we're not going to ask you
But
about
I'ma bet
betting
on
your
me, though.
contract.
yeah, no, that does not happen.
Yeah, but you wouldn't bet, hypothetically bet on yourself if it
I'd
was
bet on
99-0
myself.
against
I gotta
him.
bet on myself.
You have to.
No,
Okay.
Got to.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
But that's a tough one.
Okay,
though,
let's
for
see.
sure.
We'll take a look at his jump shot after. and
All right,
we'll,
man.
Okay, maybe we'll
we'll get
him
an
to rate the
answer. We'll get
jumper.
an answer. From
Great.
you.
Awesome. Andrew, appreciate you so much for doing this. Again, like seriously, best of luck in the summertime. And, yeah, man. We've concluded Aurora as part of Toronto, okay? It's part of the GTA area. We claim it. Toronto's very own Andrew Nembhard on the Hello and Welcome podcast presented by Betway.